by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley, and it's deflected off the goalkeeper and into the other corner. Hinchcliffe. Sharp! Yes! Grobbelaar had hands on it, but couldn't stop it going home. Burrows having to go back a long way, and look how Liverpool are being harried. But they still keep their cool. This is Beardsley. It's still Beardsley! Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Peter Beardsley! And that's a nice one, Nicol! And Sharp scores his second too. Rush in front of the goalkeeper. Played back again to Mulvey. On by Rush. He's done it again. His 24th goal against Everton. Southall was removed into the last minute. Ablett wins it. Down to McDonald. Not sure that Tony Cotty's had a touch yet. He might get one now! Three waiting, one of them is Hussein, and it's in from John Barnes. Newell. Hinchcliffe. Cotty! Unbelievable! Liverpool have given it away again.
And that's the reason we're with you again tonight. An 8-goal classic at Goodison Park last Wednesday. Now, post-Dalglish, Liverpool and Everton meet again in the FA Cup 5th round. And we're ready to be entertained once more. And the 5th round tie at Shrewsbury tonight, that was going to be tough for Arsenal, the 3rd division side, having disposed of Wimbledon in round 4. Gary Shaw was the match winner then, but he wouldn't be in the starting lineup tonight. Arsenal, they took 4 attempts to get past Leeds. Paul Merson at last set them on their way. Arsenal through to face Shrewsbury. Highlights a bit later. Already through to Wembley, Sheffield Wednesday completing a 5-1 aggregate win over Chelsea tonight. So the Rumbelows Cup final will be between Sheffield Wednesday and Manchester United. Now, with some enthusiasm, we head first to Goodison Park. Everton against Liverpool, FA Cup 5th round second replay. So much has been said about the 4-all draw last week, so much has happened since. Commentators are Trevor Brooking and Barry Davis.
You'll never see a better match than that, as Scouser said to me at the end of last week's Epic. Until next week. Well, it asks a lot, but in this city, as the resignation of Kenny Dalglish has proved, anything in football is possible. Selection continues to surprise, with no place in Everton's starting lineup for Tony Cotty, whose opportunism last week added to the moments sublime and faintly ridiculous, which gave us a night that Merseyside and football in general will never forget. Also, Pat Nevin, who was the star of Everton's show at Anfield in the first match, starts on the bench. Ronnie Moran sticks to the Liverpool side he picked for Luton last Saturday, save for the return after illness of Bruce Grobbelaar. And that means that Ray Houghton appears in the tie for the first time. David Burrows misses the match because of suspension. As the rules require, there's a change in the referee. After 2 matches, Neil Midgley gives way to Joe Worrell of Warrington. The conditions promise to be a little testing for defenders. We've had heavy rain for the last hour, and the pitch is quite wet on top. Keown with the first challenge. Slight hesitancy, Neville Southall having come out of goal. So an early corner to Liverpool. Beardsley moves into the centre of the 6-yard area. Steve Staunton to take it. Barnes on the near edge of the 6-yard box. Coming up from the back is Hussein. Mulvey. Staunton. Blocked by Mike Newell. Once again a packed crowd. with supporters in red and in blue side by side. Ablett to Benison, to Kevin Ratcliffe. Newell, Sharp has gone to his left. This is McCall, didn't start last week but does this week. McDonald, looking for the head of Sharp. One of three players who scored twice in the first replay. The others being Beardsley and Cotty.
Team selection, a couple of interesting points from Everton's point of view. Howard Kendall decided to bring in Ray Atteveld to play again right back against John Barnes. Neil MacDonald will play on the right side of midfield to sort of gang up in front of him, I believe. Then up front, Mike Newell getting ahead of Tony Cotty, and I think that's probably his extra height. They feel Liverpool slightly vulnerable on crosses, and that's why he probably starts off rather than Tony Cotty. Liverpool's point of view, Ray Houghton, a little bit of a surprise for me, playing in central midfield alongside Jan Molby and Steve Nicol right side of midfield, and Steve Staunton staying at left back.
Here's John Barnes, didn't have it for too long. Here is Ray Houghton to Rush, inside his man, good stop. He came beautifully inside Martin Keown, who on this greasy top surface kept going. It was a wonderful turn by Rush. Has hit better shots, but Southall crossed it in. McDonald. Now Atteveld. There's a bit of a gap down there as Staunton had left. Sharp. Space on this side now for Hinchcliffe, number 3. Everything in a blue shirt, indeed in a red shirt to his right. Comfortable headed clearance for Ablett. That's a good strike, but straight at the goalkeeper. He'd be a little disappointed he didn't make a bit more of that, Ray Atteveld. Seemed to have got hold of it, but it came back off the goalkeeper's chest. Indeed, it bounced once in front of the goalkeeper and then away from him before there was just one of those little claims around feet.
Good opportunity for Atteveld, didn't quite catch it properly. The chance coming really from Andy Hinchcliffe, who on the left back position gets forward and crosses the ball very well at pace. And when they had their best spell in the 4-all draw, it was because the two fullbacks, Hinchcliffe and at the time McDonald, it'll have to be Atteveld at the moment this evening, got forward and got those crosses in from wide positions, and I'm sure Howard Kendall has emphasised the importance of those two pushing forward every opportunity.
Leaning forward, but unlike Kenny Dalglish, she's quite happy to sit down. Indeed, his whole demeanour doesn't seem to have changed one iota, except that he was joking before the match. He said, I'm now having to go to places I've never been to before, because in the past he's always gone straight to the dressing room, and usually carrying the kit. To take the free kick. On by Sharp and by Watson and Keown. It's a good stop. There's a hand up in the air and the follow-up gives Everton the lead. David Watson driving his way through. It was his shot initially, and then an extraordinary moment when Mike Newell had his hand in the air here trying to get to the ball, and it came out to Watson, got a little bit I think off Hussein, but found the corner. Everton in front in this 5th round tie for the first time.
Great save initially by Bruce Grobbelaar from Martin Keown, and one of his centre-back teammates, David Watson, up there and followed up, crashed it in, and again came from a set piece really. The knockdowns, they are winning the ball in the air. Dave Watson, as you say, the second header, and at present that is just the start. Everton wanted. Find themselves in front for the first time.
Into the space for Mulvey. Rush in a bit of space too. And this is Houghton. Barnes was waiting to pounce. Neville Southall made sure that he wouldn't get the opportunity. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. One goal scored in the 12th minute by Dave Watson for Everton. Ablett. Barnes. Seeing a fair amount of the ball but not having any joy as yet. Usually double cover on him. That was Ratcliffe. Watson. Staunton. Houghton. Beardsley. Barnes. Houghton's cross. Nicol coming in. Newell. Newell will be very pleased to see Nicol pull that a bit, but it was a good attempt.
Very venison does well to win the ball. Steve Nicol wouldn't have realised the time he had there. He could have actually brought it down and hit it on the turn, and he hooked it quickly, and the frustration building up.
Everton free kick. Ratcliffe. Kieran at the back. Good interception by Barry Venison. Ball was bound for Sharp.
That was a great interception because, again, Sharp had headed it back across and two Everton players were coming in, and it was absolutely vital that Venison looked it away.
And policeman has a mark on the yellow. Atterveld. Control let him down. Barnes. Rush. Houghton going like a little train down the middle. And almost got on the end of it because he wasn't seen by Martin Keown.
Martin Keown went to knock it back, and fortunately for him, Ray Houghton was too close to him and it ricocheted off Houghton.
Atterveld. McDonald. Houghton. Rush and Beardsley forward. Venison in possession. Barnes on the left. Nicol on the right. Beardsley again makes his pass count, and it's worked to Barnes. Rush was leaping. Keown got there first. Appeal for handball. It wasn't given. So Beardsley's shot deflected for the corner, which comes in the dying seconds of the half. Now playing what Mr. Worrell has allowed. It was Watson who cleared. And that's the last header of the first half, but it was his header in the 12th minute which had the most telling effect in the half. The header caused confusion in the Liverpool defence, and from it came the right foot shot, which gave Everton the lead. For the first time, Ronnie Moran has had to find the right words at half-time, and that, many would tell you, is where a manager is truly judged. And I'm sure that Howard Kendall has reminded his team that they scored in the 46th minute a week ago, and to keep their concentration to make sure that Liverpool don't do likewise. Newell. Mulby, that's a bit long. Still fine rain. Staunton lost out to Atteveld. Newell with a good cross.
Good cross on the turn there, and I think Howard Kendall would have been delighted. Here we see him just turning, wrong foot in the defence, and Bruce Grobbelaar decided to stay because it was always going to be away from Graham Sharp and the Everton strikers. But Howard Kendall would be pleased how tactically it went for him and his side in the first half. The extra midfield player denied Liverpool the space they had last week, and although it meant on occasions Liverpool looked like the home side, pushing men forward.
And Rush has stolen it. Good stop. It's the first real chance that he's had. And a typical piece of really thieving the ball away. Neville Southall not for the first time to the rescue of Everton. Sharp. Ball was out. Staunton. Keogh slightly in two minds then. Comes down to Barnes. Needed a taller player than Ray Houghton. Hinchliffe. McDonald is the right ball, but not hit sufficiently strongly. Barnes. Strong challenge by McDonald. McCall. And a moment to take the heat off. Wonderful piece of play by Rush. Just as Keogh was going to clear the ball, hit it with his right, hit it strongly. But the positioning of Neville Southall was excellent. Call. Newell. And a calm piece of play by Venison. And calmness has not been a quality that we've seen that much of in this second replay. First time that these two have needed a second replay. Barnes. Not as much in the game as I'm sure Liverpool supporters would like to see. Rush. Nicol! And again, Neville Southall would not be moved. Staunton with the corner. Hussein is up at the back. Once more it's a spell of Liverpool pressure. All back behind the ball. Now with the exception of Sharp. Hussein, it's a good climb. Beardsley! Neville Southall just shuttled across his goal and made it look very easy. But this was a good stop from Nicol. The angle was tight and the legs did the job. Ablett in trouble. This is Newell. Upton looks to hit it long, looks for Beardsley. Southall is there first. It was a good long ball and the goalkeeper certainly made the right decision. Everton want to make their substitution. They have to wait a little longer. Staunton. Houghton. It's a bit too tight. Keown was reading that. And a bit of a pull on the shirt and shorts, which followed, according to the referee, an initial foul by Gary Ablett. Mr. Worrell's attention still not drawn to the substitution. Now it is. Ray Atteveld, who is going to be replaced, as he was a week ago. Now, who was pushing whom there? Who'd be a referee? It's good applause, the Dutchman, as he leaves the scene. And a great cheer for Pat Nevin. Become very much a favourite. Had a storming game at Anfield. Got a knock early on last week, I think, and that affected his contribution. Newell. With Everton now at full-back. So look again at Newell's attempt. Just couldn't keep it down as he was challenged by Nicol. Watson. Calmly done. But in the end, the ball is given away. And this time Watson found Southall. Ablett and Sharp. Newell to Nevin. Barnes is the extra defender. Everton. Newell. Everton has gone on. This is Stuart McCall, just couldn't take it in stride. And maybe a little bit of a hole has been left. McDonald back quickly. Nicol coming up on the right. Three in the middle. Tipped over by Neville Southall. Struck cleanly. Those in the box might have hoped for the cross.
Good shot, it was a late dipper, needed the touch by Southall.
Up by Hussein, and even better by Keown. Nicol. Plenty forward still, well won by Watson. Mulvey. Barnes. Once more it's a red encampment in the blue zone. Good play by Nicol. Rush! Applauds the cross. The expression was a little bit of a grimace. Got up so well, but guided it too far across.
Great cross, and really, it was a free header for Ian Rush, and he knows as well as anyone they should be in.
Home fans encouraging Everton to push forward. Andy Hinchcliffe, Mike Newell. Nevin. And Barnes has to bring it from deep and gives it away. We're into the last minute. Houghton, Staunton. Barnes, who's been marked so well. Once again, the ball is a bit short. Nevin, just take it down the other end, says Howard Kendall. Ratcliffe, his mistake, which started things last week, lost in the midst of time now. That will find the goalkeeper. Almost made a mark. There was an infringement in midfield. So a free kick has been given to Everton. Home supporters are celebrating the victory. Neither manager is prepared to accept either victory or defeat as yet. It's got to be long from Bruce Grobbelaar. Go forward, says Southall. He doesn't want anything tight. Everton are through to the quarter-finals, and the man who left Anfield over 10 years ago has finally decided this cup tie in favour of the Blues. A very different match from a week ago, but there's a telling quote by Howard Kendall in the programme. Goals, he says, create drama, but the game is not just about goals. As a manager, you take pleasure from other factors, good defending, or an idea that works out well. His defensive formation and his defenders have tonight done him proud. Liverpool with so much possession, but for them, it was a story of just not quite.
Howard, well, it was a saga, but all's well that ends well.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous result for us, naturally. I mean, but was backs against the wall for a long period in the game. I mean, good defending, great goalkeeping. And we took the lead for the first time, and we hung on to it, really. I mean, lots of grit and determination out there. We're delighted.
The Liverpool camp is saying Southall is the best goalkeeper in the world, and here's the difference.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Bruce would be saying about that when he goes.
It was Bruce that said that.
Was it Bruce? Oh, that's all right then. Well, I've believed it for a long time. I mean, he's only convinced me again tonight that if he ever had to do that, that he certainly is. I mean, when necessary tonight, he was a world class, absolutely superb.
Ronnie, you said you wanted to get the commitment from the players. You got the commitment, but perhaps not the result.
Well, I would rather have the result. Well, I got the commitment, but I'd rather have the result and even played badly. But, I mean, after that second half performance tonight, I've never heard the home crowd whistling so long for the final whistle. But good luck to Everton. I'm not saying they deserved it, but this is the way that it goes in the cup. It's a team that scores the goal that they'll go through to the next round. But I can't ask for anything more from my players tonight.
Not the classic of last week. That always was too much to expect. But Jimmy Hill, very fine performance indeed from Everton.
Yes, it was, and it was a fine performance from Liverpool too, and it's a shame in some ways that only one team can go through, but it was a sort of hair's breadth difference between those teams in all the matches, and there's been a feature of all the cup matches so far, how much the goalkeepers have played a part.
Well, let's take a look at the first half moment that decided it, and ironically it was a fine save from Bruce Grobbelaar in the middle of this.
It was a brilliant save from him. Liverpool were just that bit suspect in the air, That's one header they miss. Nicol doesn't quite get it away. And Keown's, now look at that save from Grobbelaar. A superb save with his foot, but then the luck doesn't go his way. Mulberry gets it under his feet, and you'll see from behind the goal in a moment how even the final shot was a deflection. It comes off Hussein's feet. As it comes back there, save number one, underneath Mulberry's feet, and it goes to Hussein's leg, a deflection, and Grobbelaar still nearly gets his hand to it.
Only
he
goal
nearly
of the
kept
game.
that one out, yeah.
Second half, Liverpool seemed to take control, but rather uncharacteristically didn't make it count. Now, why was that?
The man in the Everton goal. Somehow he seems to have a laser beam in his chest that drags the ball to him. This was the first one here. Ian Rush was the chance. Houghton's the guy who sets it up there. Beautifully played alongside him. And he showed the strength of Rush here, how he turns, stays up, but there wasn't the power in the shot, but it was a low one, and Southall managed that one quite comfortably. And then it was Steve Nichol's turn. He had a fine game tonight, full of enthusiasm. He got himself through from a Rush pass. That's Staunton who helps it forward, but it's Rushy, the man who's harassing. There he is. He's got it. No, this is the one where he beats the defender, gets through on his own, and slashes it with his left foot. But again, it's the Geiger counter. That
Positioning
was
the key there
one.
from Southall, wasn't it? And in this next one as well.
And again, this is the one where Rushy lays it on. Lots of fight goes in here. He comes in, gets over the top of it. Steve Nichol's the man going into the space. Beautifully done there. Turned onto his left foot. But that wasn't really the kind of sharp finishing that he would have really enjoyed. And of
so
course,
really,
Southall,
it's Neville Southall putting Liverpool out of the cup really tonight. What now for Ronnie Moran? He's up against it, only 4 wins out of the last 15. Arsenal on Sunday, not a great time to be facing the league leaders.
No, it isn't. Kenny Dalglish has left, and I don't think there's that much difference between Liverpool now that he's left and when he was still there in a way. I mean, there were already signs that the actual sort of steamroller effect of all the other teams in the First Division was beginning to come to an end. There were signs when teams played Liverpool, they were beginning to feel they had a chance to break them down at the back, particularly in the air. And there were other instances tonight where they were just feeling unsure of themselves and not absolutely confident at dealing with those high balls. So teams now feel Liverpool are not invincible. So Ronnie Moran's got quite a fight on his hands to reshape the situation, you know, to get the confidence of the players in his management skills, and also to continue the work that Kenny Dalglish was doing, because there is still some work to be done, as we can see. But it was a fine contest between both teams, and perhaps if we talk too much about Liverpool tonight, we should say, well done Everton,
yes,
for
indeed.
sticking to it.
Thanks very much indeed. We'll continue with